Back in the Max Power days, it was about your personality. It was about standing out from the crowd. And this Renault 5 is no different. So the Max Power era was all about the car being about your personality. It was a reflection of who you were and being different. And this car sums up that full era. Back in the day, the main guy for the Renault 5 designs of the era was who the signature is, was Jamie Shaw. Jamie Shaw was kind of the forefront of Charisma auto design, and he also did Pimp My Ride UK. Is there any one car that stands out for you?
Yeah, the Charisma Renault 5
Which
was
obviously
always,
shows.
Yeah, was always my bedroom poster car.
Show and no go.
Yeah. Oh, we used to literally just drive around town and see what girls we could pick up, and that was
At
it.
15 mile an hour,
Yeah,
the music as loud as you could get it. On the body kit, we have the Charisma front bumper, we have some side skirt add-ons on the side, and then you have the obligatory Charisma giant spoiler. Charisma being Jamie Shaw. Jamie Shaw was the main guy for body kits back in the day for the Renault 5. He made some wild iterations with his own silver one, which is known from the Ali G movie. Back in the day, there was probably 20 Charisma body kit Renault 5s, but every one was different. The one thing that always makes me smile about the era was the half roll cages. Big chrome, big chunky pipe, did nothing in an accident, but it looked cool as Christmas, and that's what everyone wanted. Other little things are, every car had to have bucket seats. They had to be changed. Even if the original factory seats were probably more comfy and nicer, we had to rip them out and put these aftermarket bucket seats in. The dashboard has been swapped from the Campus one to the GT Turbo one. It has obviously the Sony Edge unit, and then the funny thing is, as we heard on the interview, he has a nitrous kit, which is fake.
But yeah, I put cage in, strut brace, it's a bit of a sound system with the audio barn, fake NOS bottle.
Had to do it.
Yeah, for the looks.
But he also has a fake nitrous gauge. This is what the Max Power era was about. So this is definitely keeping that Max Power era alive. And now with the reunion show every year, it's getting bigger and it's getting better. And I really enjoyed coming seeing this because for me, it's reliving what I used to do 20 years ago, as well as bringing my boy along to see what it was all about. For me, there's always one car for me that always goes, that got me into the era. Is there any one car that stands out for you?
Yeah, the Charisma Renault 5
Which
was
obviously
always,
shows.
yeah, was always my bedroom poster car. Yeah, it just stood out to me. I've always had a thing for hot hatches, and that was the one for me.
Which iteration was the one you would choose? Because remember, it changed, didn't it?
Yeah,
because I know which one mine was.
It changed all the time. Like it changed it for every year, really. I think my favourite one was when he first put the rounder arches on it. It was still all the same silver because there was a point where it went chrome and what have you. But I think when he first put the rounder arches on, I really liked that then with the spoiler in the middle of the window.
Yes.
That looked nuts to me. I mean, I look at it now and I think perhaps it's a little much, but at the time I thought, oh my God, that is the dream.
Because mine was the centre exhaust one.
Yeah, yeah.
It came out the boot lid.
The Ali G one.
That was mine, that one.
Yeah,
I think after that, when he went the chrome arches and all that, he went a bit too far.
Yeah,
and then this iteration now, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
It's hit and miss, but I see why he did it.
Yeah, at the time, I was very much in the headspace of madder was better. That was what the scene was all about, wasn't it? Back then, if you could do it, if you had an idea, then why not just crack on? And I was very much of that. But now I think it's probably a little bit too out there. Yeah.
So where does, obviously your poster car was the Charisma Renault 5. Where does this car start coming into your life and doing?
So I was 30 at the time. Had a bit of a rough time in my life, and needed something to sort of concentrate on to rebuild myself because I was a bit of a shell of myself. And went round my mate's house the one night. He put on a episode of Car SOS where they restored the Renault 5, and before the programme had finished, I'd been on the internet and bought a Renault 5, albeit a Campus that I intended to convert, and I picked it up the following weekend, and
Wow.
just started from there, really.
Wow. So was always the goal to have what we class as a max power car, build it that way, or was it to kind of get a GT Turbo OEM look car?
At the time, in my head, when I first bought it, I thought, yeah, I'm going to do the car that I loved when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But then you look around at the scene, and at the time there was no max power show, and so I built it a little bit max power, but more to fit in with the scene as it runs at the time. And then obviously the reunion came about. I was like, literally come about after I'd just built it. I was like, this was meant to be. and I just started scouring the internet for all the Renault 5 max power parts that I could find, and just smashed all them on, and here we are now.
So tell people what the reunion show. What for you? What's the reunion show? Tell the people.
The reunion show for me, it's about being creative, building what you can build, but more so it's about like a family sort of thing. It's the kind of show where I feel like there's no arrogance. You can turn up with a really polished show car, or a car that's mid-build that you're just trying to do something with. Like it's I don't know how to explain it, but there's no sort of arrogance about it. You can turn up with a Ferrari, or you can turn up with a Fiesta, and
still get
everyone will get
appreciation.
treated exactly the same, because it's a passion thing. Like nobody's sort of looking down their nose at each other, which you do get at some shows sometimes. Yeah,
It's all individual. I also find that at the show. What I find with the reunion show for me is, which is why I love the Max Power era, and I think you'll agree, is nowadays I class them as the all blending.
Yeah. You can see one car and they all look the same. The bags, wheels.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Where the Max Power era is, you can have a Renault 5. We had the Ferraris, didn't we, last year? A couple of Ferraris on bags. And then you can have a Corsa. You can have my thing. You can have a Monster. It's probably the most diverse show I've ever been to. Is.
Yeah, it is. It's like a throwback to the old years, because I mean, back then there was no social media to sort of direct you in one direction or the other. You didn't really see anybody else's car unless you went to a show. So you would be building a car all year long with your own ideas, and nobody saying, "Oh, that looks rubbish" or anything like that. You'd turn up at the show, proud of your creation, and people would either love it or they'd hate it, but you were proud of it because it was yours, and that was that. And that's probably more why cars were so crazy back then, because I think people are more afraid now to step outside the box.
Yeah, everyone blends in, don't they?
Yeah, that's it. Because in an era where people are afraid of their own, how they look, they've got to put filters on everything. It's hard to be individual, isn't it?
Correct. But with us lot, with these cars, it's all about being individual.
That's exactly
and that's very hard to tell with the younger generation of car enthusiasts. You might not like this. They might not like this car. I might not like this car, but I can appreciate this is you, this is who you are, this is your personality. Because like I say, we'll get into it, the Coca-Cola. I have no idea why you put Coca-Cola, but there'll be a story behind it, and I can go, oh, right, well, there must be a story. And it's someone's individuality where they've sat and thought about creating something. Yeah. So let's dive into this is mega, mate. It looks amazing.
Thanks, mate.
Let's start off, for me, where do you find a Charisma kit? Because the 10-year-old
scouring eBay, Facebook. It took me a long time. It took me 2 years to find the spoiler. The rear bumper, it took me about 2.5 years, and it was a 6-hour round journey to pick it up. Just literally because people ask me all the time, oh, where did I get that kit from? You just literally need to sit and wait for it to turn up. Like, just keep looking. That's it.
And it'll come eventually.
That's it. Yeah.
So you started as a Campus.
Yeah.
What engine's in this now?
It's the GT Turbo engine now.
Bog standard?
It's running 140, standard though 122.
So a little bit of boost.
It has had more horsepower in the past, but if anyone's seen sort of my Instagram, you'll see I often didn't make it to shows, so toned it down.
To make it a bit more reliable.
Yeah, that's it. I've done multiple head gaskets, cracked the head, and I thought, I've had enough of this. I just want to get to the shows.
Make it standard. Make some whoop-tish noises, and you're happy.
That's it.
Because again, it wasn't about going fast, was it?
No, it was never about going fast for me. It was all about the looks.
Yeah.
It's all about the looks.
As you can tell with the car.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola. That's the big one, because it's the big change this year. Where does this come from? Is it, I'm going to guess, obviously, it's red, we know that.
Yeah.
Where's the Coca-Cola come from?
Well, it was a bit of a whim, actually, because I did see another car. I can't remember if it was Fanta or something like that, and I thought that looked pretty cool. And I thought, well, my car's red. it's obviously Coca-Cola.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's pretty much how that came about. And yeah,
It does look mega.
thanks,
It
mate.
does suit the car, definitely. What have we done on the inside of bits and pieces?
Yeah, so obviously when it came, it was a standard campus, all the, you know, your nan seats, all that sort of stuff, parcel shelf, all the rest. It was just a complete stack. The car, when I bought it, to be honest with you, was sort of been looked after by somebody's nan, and that was that. She loved it, and if I'd have told her what I was doing with it, I don't think she'd have sold it me. But yeah, I've stripped it out, bucket seats, GT turbo, not a complete dash, but there's bits I've added in there from the GT. The campus doesn't come with an actual shut-in glove box and stupid things like that. And the centre column, the campus doesn't come with a full centre column. It just comes with a tiny bit, and the gear sticks on its own. But yeah, I put cage in, strut brace, it's a bit of a sound system with the audio barn, fake NOS bottle.
Had to do it.
Yeah, for the looks. Yeah, just tried to make it fit in with the rest of the car, really. For me, it's the sense of pride that you get of something that you've built. Do you know what I mean? I don't get, for me, when you turn up with a car that somebody else has built for you, although it's nice to be appreciated, there's no way you can possibly feel the same thing that you do when, yeah, I did that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So these cars weren't about going fast, were they?
No.
They were about just show
That's
and
it,
no
mate,
go.
yeah. Oh, we used to literally just drive around town and see what girls we could pick up, and that was
At
it.
15 mile an hour,
Yeah,
the
that was
music
it.
as loud as you
Yeah.
could get it.
I always remember in my old Astra, like the washer jets. I moved the washer to the side of the spoiler, so when I was driving through the middle of town, I could spray people as I was going past.
Yeah, it was just about being terrorists, wasn't it, back then?
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And it obviously you used to have the stickers, "Oh, cruising is not a crime." Well, I mean, it is now, isn't it?
It is now, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, you can't have a meter 2 or 3 years because the police are coming, anti-social. Can you remember the in the magazines, the cruises, where they used to interview the girls at the shows?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Some of the questions. My God.
I've got a magazine at home, and the obligatory questions, the pink or brown, and
Yeah,
all the rest of it. And there's a picture of this girl with being held up by a group of guys with her legs wide open. You can just about make out she's wearing see-through knickers, and beneath, where it tells you how old they are and whatever, it says 17.
Oh my God.
How on earth
How on
did
earth did you
this
get
ever
away with that?
happen?
Now, for me, I always wondered, and I will ask Millsy when I do the interview, did they make up the answers? Was it just a picture of her that they took at the show, and they went, oh, we'll call her Susan, and we'll say she's 17, and we'll say she likes it brown, and we'll... I always wondered that, when they made it up.
Do you know what? I was a bit young and wet behind the ears, so I used to think, God, she must be a bit of dirt, that one.
Love it.
But yeah, thinking about it now, they probably were just made up
Boy,
answers.
I would have thought so, because some of the answers to them questions were horrendous. Assisting with your hand, that's what the cards were about.
They're not made to use, that's for sure.
They're not,
Could
no.
not drive this as a daily. It makes me laugh because, I mean, I go to the shows, and sometimes I don't even make it, like I'm getting brought home on a low loader, and I think to myself, how reliable were these cars when they were new? Because this is definitely not that.
They weren't that. Do you know what?
Very unpredictable.
I always got everywhere. I think we all had it, where we'd knock a bumper off,
Yeah.
or we'd crack a side skirt, or
Yeah.
there was always something that would always happen.
The whole Max Power thing was, a big part of it, but it was also like, as a teen, your first taste of freedom. Like,
It was how you socialised as well,
you'd
weren't
go out, you'd meet your mates on McDonald's, of course, We'd pull up next to each other, pull our wing mirrors in so we could get our cars nearly touching, so we were like almost sat next to each other for a chat, and you know, that's how you met most of your friends and probably your girlfriend as well.
Yeah.
And that's just how things went.
Good time. Like I said, they were a better time for me. And don't get me wrong, this new era, I've got nothing against it, but it's the socialised, everything's done online now and on your phone.
Yeah.
They're all in group chats and texting and sat at home doing it. Where we physically had to go out and meet, and that's why, again, like I say, McDonald's running, sitting there for hours on end.
I used to love it, mate. I'd every weekend I'd just be on the drive and I'd be, you know, building or creating something, and that was the joy of it all for me.
Yeah.
And again, still is. I love just creating something, being different, and then I don't do it for other people's appreciation, but it's nice, the feeling when you go there and that people are like, oh, that looks
Done
really
something
good.
right.
Yeah, it's like a little pat on the back almost.
I think towards the end of the era, it did get very much out of hand. Where, again, nothing against him, like your mate had the sub as a steering wheel.
Yeah.
The telly and the back lights,
Yeah.
that type of thing. It did get a little bit out of hand towards the end, but again, it was still that fact of everyone had to do each other every year, and that was the only way of doing it. Was, well, I'm going to stick a 40-inch plasma in my roof.
Yeah. See, it makes no sense to people now why anybody would do that, but it got to a stage where the only things that you, like you say, you could do to outdo anyone else was absolutely nuts, and that's where it got to how it got to where it got.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I just love all the arches, rub and everything, mate.
I mean, this car is when you drive it, like even on the motorway, like the set expansion lines on bridges, like it feels like the earth is going to erupt through the bonnet going over them, because like I feel like people, like the roads people, should drive my car on the roads, and then they would definitely consider how bad they are and do something about all these holes and stuff.
Well, this is the thing that makes me laugh, is at 18, 19, 20, this catching, scraping was the best thing.
Oh.
And you'd love it, and you're like, yes, you'd make it undrivable, your car. Now we're a bit older, let's say, I'd rather drive somewhere in my transit van.
Yeah, I would definitely rather. I've got an A-class as a daily, and I would get in that 100 times over this. Don't get me wrong, when I go to the shows, there's lights on my face, it's just the driving experience is totally different, but I could not drive this as a
Hey!
I could not drive this as a daily, not a chance. I don't think it would last more than a night, to be honest. It would be in pieces.
Oh, cringe then. I saw a massive pole, I thought we was having a right good. I thought I was having a side skirt coming off there.
No.
Brilliant.
Well, I used to have a sticker in the back window. It said, I'm not drunk, I'm just avoiding potholes. Because at the moment, the roads are an absolute disaster. Especially for a car like this.
Brilliant, yeah. Listen, I appreciate letting us come.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
I really thanks,
Nice one.
man. It's good. Plenty more max power kind of style cars throughout the year. We're going to be at the reunion show as usual. So take care, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.